Have you ever had a budget bourbon banger? Well, tonight's bourbon makes me want to wind up a cuckoo clock, spit into a handkerchief, fold it up, put it back into my pocket, then walk 5 miles to the hardware store in the snow, uphill both ways. Stay tuned and you'll find out what I'm talking about.
Simple whiskey, Cyncere. Here to keep it 100. What's the ABV? Keep it simple. Simple whiskey. And be sweeter.
Welcome to the Simple Whiskey Show. Tonight, we're going to dive into a bourbon that not only takes me down memory lane, but also hits the sweet spot within my wallet. We're talking about Old Grandad 114. This bourbon is not only about the past, but the fantastic taste it brings to the present. So let's keep it simple and sip some liquid nostalgia. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all things Simple Whiskey. Now, before we get into the nitty gritty, let's talk about the nose on this one. Aroma. It's strong with some sort of spice, maybe even cinnamon. A little bit of grated orange peel. Can really feel the proof on the nose on this one. So on the nose, it's like a warm hug from Dada himself. Some people have pawpaws, some have grandpa. We just had Dada. And this is the highest proof in the Old Grandad line at the 114. The rest of them are 100 proof or less. This is also the Jim Beam High Rye Mash Bill, which comes in at 27% rye. The standard expressions use 13%. That's Booker's, Knob Creek, as well as traditional Jim Beam. So before we dive in, let's get into the bottle. Old Grandad 114 is named after Basil Hayden, an old granddad indeed, who was a pioneer in bourbon distilling. With Mr. Hayden himself on the bottle, this is a 114 proof version of the standard 80 proof Basil Hayden expression. What some may not know is Old Grandad 114 is part of the Beam family legacy. That's right, it's like sipping a piece of bourbon history with every drop. Old Grandad packs great flavors and is also great for the wallet, given it's half the price of the traditional Basil Hayden. Cheers to you, Basil. And now the reason we're all here, let's get to sipping. So I get like a drier oak, cinnamon, bit of vanilla, and then there's some nuttiness as well. I'm picking up like a little bit of gingerbread, something, yeah. That finish gives me a lot of gingerbread. The extra proof on this adds a bit of nutty cinnamon on the finish, and then it reminds me of the holidays because you also get gingerbread. It's like a family reunion in your mouth. I mean that in the best way possible. So let's give this one a simple breakdown. MSRP on this one, $29.99. Definitely punches above its weight class in terms of value. Secondary pricing, I've seen it as high as $39.99. I think $29.99 is a great price point for it. Not looking to go buy it for $40, especially now that I know that a couple of stores around me typically always carry it. Age statement, it's non-age stated. ABV and proof, 57% ABV, 114 proof. Mash bill on this one, 63% corn, 27% rye, and 10% barley. Distillery, Jim Beam. Simple advice on this one, buy and back up. This is a good one to have on hand at all times. I've added it to my list of go-to sippers alongside Elijah Craig Small Batch, as well as Wild Turkey 101. That gingerbread note came out of nowhere tonight. I don't usually get that. This is a new bottle that I just opened, so it's a warm surprise. The other pro to this is it definitely holds up in cocktails as well. At 114 proof, a lot of those flavors, they get washed out in lower proof mixers. You don't have that problem with this one. This one's 114 proof. The flavor will still stand the test of a sugary cocktail. So for me, when I think of the name itself, Old Grandad, it always just takes me back to my grandparents all hosting on their back porch. People coming, eating, drinking, dancing, just music going, great conversation flowing. Seeing them all partake and just having a great time, even as a 7-8-year-old kid, just always brings a smile to my face, thinking back to how simple life was for me back then and how simple life seemed for them, just mingling with everyone. So for me, there's just something magical about the overall experience of bourbon. The way that this brings folks together, just like those cherished childhood memories that I have, just takes me back. So here's to family memories and, of course, a budget bourbon banger. It's earned its place on our shelves and in our hearts as well. Thanks for joining the Simple Whiskey Show. If you enjoyed the episode tonight, Don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as leave a comment down below. Remember, life's too short for bad whiskey. Keep it simple, keep it smooth. Cheers.